March 3rd, 2019, and it's about quarter till 10 in the morning. Just going to observe, first of all, how interesting it is. So you can see the whole flippin' porch is dry, except for right here where it's actually still ice. And as of just about 30 seconds ago was solid ice, but now it's wet. But it was dry. Then I came out here. You can see this last bit of snow right here on the step. I swept out from here where there's actually still ice. So this snow, and this is bone dry. You can see it's bone dry. It starts to get wet down there. But up here it's bone dry, so the snow was piled up to here. And so the fact that this whole thing is bone dry with that snow on it, it wasn't even melting. Even though it's sitting here in the sun, and even though we have amazing amounts of melt at 6 o'clock in the morning before the sun comes up, here was this chunk of weird ice in this weird area where people put weird chemicals, where it could look like people put weird chemicals into my house. Just not melting and not especially wet. There's where I brushed it off. It sat there while I went inside and got the broom, because first I picked it out with my garden tool, and you can see there's snow in this area where everything else is dry and melted away like yesterday. So just saying, one of those Albion anomaly type deals where it's like, really? That's not normal. Oh, because you're doing tricks. And then what was the other thing I was going to say when I got on here? There was something that I noticed. Besides that the chicken barkers were, it was when I signed onto my phone. When I opened up my phone, there is Samsung Galaxy Themes, which is actually where the latest hacking event appears to have come through. So my Verizon icon turned from my picture of flowers, which was a static picture, just from a static photo, to an animated GIF of it looks like SpongeBob SquarePants popping up as a piece of toast. And I had to guess. I was like, oh. I found it when I was like looking through and I was talking to the Verizon person. I'm like, oh, toast. Just a little message from the hackers that I'm toast. And then the next thing I saw was something where somebody said, one of the law people's like, President Trump is toast. I'm like, dude, me too. But maybe we'll pull it off and surprise him, both of us, not just him, me too, maybe. So yeah, that's what's going on here. We've got a ton-ass of amazing snow. It's the 3rd of March. We've got at least a foot and a half of snow. I'm just about to head into town, where Walmart has already done some funky things with my shopping items. And so I'll have to go and make sure that I get all my items. In fact, I'm probably going to give them a call here in just a minute and see if there was any problem with any of the items on my list, since Pullman Walmart is like hate central. Man, the haters were just like organized on freaking out about that thing even coming in, and then they have been organized about making it as hateful as possible of a shopping experience, and humiliating. And they take products off the shelves where you go in and you're like, okay, every other thing that is bought is stocked except for my item. And my items are really easy to know because I buy the same thing every month. I mean, I'm not like... So yeah, you'll go in and there'll be no distilled water, no distilled water, no distilled water, time after time after time. And so frankly, with it costing so much for me to go in there right now, I'm going to make sure that there's distilled water, among some other things, because that's one of their favorite games. Yep, of evil fucking haters. And that's why I am anti-socialism and anti-Bernie and pro-Trump. It has to do with the people that I went to school with and the schools that I went to and the stores that I shopped in and the social part of society that suppresses the entire. It's like there is a few people that are called the popular people. I couldn't understand. I was like, when I came out here from New York, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? But they're the only people that count. And in the popular people, there's, you know, sports kids and stoner kids and this, that, but those kids can do anything, and the rest of us are completely suppressed. And frankly, it's amazing how connected it is. But with metadata, you really can look and see, oh, look, it's that state again. And having been hated by all the groups. So, yeah. So it's the LGBTQs and the girl gang Qs and Washington Water Power, aka Avista Q. All of that is what. So then you've got the Republican representative, though, that just voted against President Trump's. And the only reason I voted for McMorris Rogers is because I figured, well, at the very least, you can toe the president's line. You've shown that, but they brought President Trump in to massacre me, in particular, and people like me, but me in particular, because these guys have not been able to handle me for the whole time since I was 12, I guess, and they didn't apparently do the best job of managing my mother. But yeah, all the license plates around here, they all add up to 17. And I was freaking out, in fact, about the 17s and the 19s and the 23s long before I knew anything about this Q thing. But then afterwards, I'm like, oh. So yeah, Washington State alumni is what came after me my whole life. Yeah, they ruined my life. And they've ruined a lot of people's lives. And that's why I'm sitting here doing my thing. And, you know, like Maxine Waters says, but not gang style, but just pushing back. Trying to stand my ground. Now I'm going to go into their horrifying little story. Oh, so the reason that they didn't want Walmart is because Walmart is a slightly harder supply chain for them to control. And that's why Amazon is such a big deal, too. And it comes out of Washington State, too. Whoa, look at that. And then people get their wrong items and they get knockoffs sent to them from China and all this bullshit. And Jeff Bezos is the richest motherfucker in the country. And he comes from my fucked up state where it's just like crime as a way of life. And that's the only thing you get rewarded for. You get rewarded for lying. You get rewarded for breaking people's hearts. You get rewarded for stealing their money. You get rewarded. I mean, I'm talking about social status. That's what you get around here. People will be nice to you if you do mean things. And if you don't do mean things, they will not be nice to you. And if that's capitalism, yuck. But I think it's socialism, really. I mean, capitalists are assholes, but at least they're honest about it. These people are just liars, cowards, chickens, poisoners. So the Venezuela Colectivo bikers, I wonder if they're as famous as our bikers for poisoning. Yeah, I'm pissed off. And having the bikers be like, ooh, we don't call the cops. Oh yeah, because the cops call you? Fuck you. I'll go call the cops myself. And then, you know, the cops are like, sorry, no. We called our bikers on you. But eventually I got to an honest one. Who I used to steal from when I was a teenager. Who I had to say sorry to. Just gonna admit it again. Have I stolen as an adult? A couple times. Not really from people though. Which is dumb. I mean, but like from stores. Which actually ended up being people, but what did I do? Here's what I did. I stole 2 nightgowns to make my managers shrink look bad. And I'm not sure if all the books that I took out of Ray's Book Exchange got paid for or not paid for. I really don't friggin' know because we just had tons of books back and forth and all the books got their covers ripped off there and thrown in the garbage if there was too many of them anyways. So I don't really care. And then tons of the books just got ruined and thrown away and everything. So all of that is a mess. But I still owe over $700 on my loan, but LaDonna died. That's it. That's all I can think of. I guess. Other than that, I always pay extra, more, just to make sure that I paid. And I don't owe people. Now I owe a ton. But I'm in a war, social war, so there's nothing I can do. And here I ramble on. I don't even know what I was saying. I was just bitching about the snow. Now I can't use anything because I freaking talk to myself because, yep, I am. For me, I guess, I suppose, I might be a little bit lonely at this point. Which is fairly bizarre because I've been wanting to be alone my whole life. But finally, I may have had enough of it. We'll see. Doesn't really matter. So I'm checking out soon. You guys can fuck off.